Inherent Vice is the latest film from director Paul Thomas Anderson and stars Joaquin Phoenix amongst a whole load of other people. It's set in Los Angeles in 1970 and is essentially a stoner detective comedy. So Joaquin Phoenix stars as the pot-smoking PI Doc, and at the start of the film he's visited by an ex-girlfriend who tells him that someone's gone missing and she needs his help. So this starts a chain of events which are pretty bizarre. The plot of this film is almost incomprehensible. I challenge anyone to come out of Inherent Vice and say exactly what happened, but you get the sense that that's kind of the point. The beauty of this film isn't necessarily in the intricacies of the plot, it's in the performances, it's in the costumes, it's in the visuals, it's the look and feel of 1970. So as I've said, some of the events are absurd. You see Doc dealing with policemen, dentists, neo-Nazis, gangsters, all in this sort of gentle comedic way. So not only is the film comedic, but there's also a sense of melancholy. You get a real nostalgic vibe for the 70s, but in particular in 1970 you get the sense of the dream of the 60s has sort of died out and people are sort of waking up, and there's a real sense of sadness about that, which this film portrays really well. So the film is beautiful, you really get a sense of 1970 California. The costumes are fantastic, they've been nominated for an Oscar, and there's such a lush detail to the way that this film has been presented, which is really, really great. Jonny Greenwood from Radiohead does a great score for this film. It sort of highlights the paranoia and sort of bounces along with that, but really accentuates the comedic and light-hearted tone of the film as well. Now on some of my gripes with Inherent Vice. This is a really, really long film, 2 hours and a half, and it feels it. Some of the scenes I really didn't think were necessary, and at some points you kind of feel yourself falling out of kilter with the film and sort of stepping back and thinking this is really strange. And I think if the film had been a bit tighter, if it had progressed at a quicker pace, you maybe wouldn't have had those moments of feeling sort of disenchanted with it. At some points, because the plot is just so strange and incomprehensible, you can feel a bit lost in the film, and I know that was somewhat intentional, but due to just how long the film was, I didn't think that necessarily worked all the time. Inherent Vice was fun, it was melancholic, but the length of the film, the inaccessible nature of the plot made it quite a hard film to really love and get invested in. I enjoyed it, but I won't rush back to see it again, and for me, Inherent Vice gets a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching this review of Inherent Vice, and I'll be back soon with another review.